shadow over this semi-final. Reece Wilmot, in his 10 years with Arsenal, he had just 9 senior games, but oddly both his first team debut in a League Cup quarter-final and his first division debut were here at Villa Park. And Andy, he played in both those games. I don't know whether you remember that, back in 1986. Villa, your team didn't win either of them.
Oh, well, there you go then. So how do you expect me to remember, Martin? But the one thing he does have, Reece, he has tremendous experience. And I think he'll use that tonight. I don't think Alan Smith will be too perturbed about that.
And another man with tremendous experience supporting the Manchester United cause. He's missed 7 games this season through suspension. Instalment of the semi-final is underway. Here's Gordon. Dowie. Ball forward by Pitcher. The tap gives Reece Wilmot his first test of the evening.
He'll be thankful.
They've shown an ability to make chances, not always take them, certainly not in the league games.
That's a chance, Martin. Ray Houghton won't be happy with himself. With a wonderful opportunity to put pressure on, and what did he do? We'll talk about it. He hit the first defender.
Schmeichel comes. This is Pitcher. Got a couple of options on the right-hand side. Picks the more difficult pass, and is now regretting it. Played very well in the first match. Butters into the centre, and the ball bounces Pitcher. Giggs. Sharp coming in. Patterson kept his eye on the ball. It's a goal kick.
That was a great strike. Great example. Striking a difficult ball. He had to let the ball come across his body. He got really good body shape. Look at this. He steps across at the ball and then hits it with bend. Oh. Deary me, he thought for a moment that was sneaking in, didn't he? Ryan, I think he thought that's just nipping in the bottom corner. I'll give the goalkeeper one says that's a chance in my book. In a game of this, he missed a very important header on Sunday. Now look, he's on, no one near him, absolutely no one. Now he's one of the strongest headers of the ball. You would have him earmarked, I'm sure, before they even come out here tonight. Probably not his strongest side coming from there.
Manchester United are in front in this semi-final for the first time, and Steve Bruce marks his comeback with a thumping header past Reece Wilmot.
Well, Darren Patterson's the one caught with Bruce. Now watch this, the difference here is Bruce made that his. The young defender didn't attack it, now he should have done. He's caught with Bruce, they're going to attack it and you'll win it, son. He didn't do that, but I tell you what, Steve Bruce gave a great example of wanting to win a header. He put himself in there, look at that. Body into everything. And that's what made the difference. He was more determined than the man marking him.
Alistair is free and it's 2-0.
Well, the two centre-backs have really made them pay for some poor defending. I cannot believe for the life of me that the most dangerous man they've got gets a free header. He loses Gareth Southgate, to be fair, brilliantly. That's a superb run, worthy of the best strikers in the game. You watch the way he takes him forward, skips in behind him, and that's a towering header, it really was. Look at that, he's pulled behind Gareth Southgate, lost him totally. Well, I've done him an injustice. That was super play from Pallister. Fantastic run. And a great header.
Well, Gary Pallister, whose goal made this replay possible in Manchester United's time of need in extra time when they were trailing 2-1, has scored here to suggest that the holders are going back to Wembley again.
Straight from there.
That was a miskick by Wilmot. Pitcher. Armstrong just nudging Owen out of the way, and will do them a favour against Blackburn on Saturday. Wilmot's got there and help was on hand. Dowie. Armstrong. Comes back to Chris Armstrong again. Sarako's in the centre now. And Gareth Southgate was there as well. And that was as much concern as we've seen around the Manchester United goal for some time. Wonderful play from Ryan Giggs. Sharp, second time. Only Hughes really there in the centre.
But may just
Has lit the fuse here, and a real explosion of emotion. One or two Manchester United players, notably Irwin, believing that Southgate made more of that than was necessary. Southgate seemed to me to expect Keane to go over the top.
I think Darren Patterson's in trouble as well, Martin. Roy Keane's definitely in trouble, I don't think there's any doubt of that. For the initial tackle, and then for what happened after it. It's now down purely to the referee's interpretation of what he saw.
Well, on a night when the players have even more responsibility to set the right example, but in the heat of the battle, Crystal Palace seeing the semi-final ebbing away. Roy Keane, for whom every contest is a cup tie, but he's off. Keane is sent off. Now what's going to happen for Patterson here? Well, they could have taken Keane off, and how he would regret now that he didn't go when Alex Ferguson wanted to make that change and just substituted for the injury. He's out of this game, and he will have a suspension to serve, which might affect the league programme. Andy.
Now this is attack, the ball's down, and look how high Roy Keane is. That's ridiculously high, Martin. Now I don't have to say any more, but it's
Patterson's
after
off
this.
as well.
There he comes in, now Southgate's in trouble, that's a terrible tackle. There's the stamp. If the referee's seen all that, we could have 3 players off, Martin.
In came Patterson there.
That's why he's gone off.
So Patterson, who, as I said a moment or two ago, goes up to the Football Association tomorrow. He's already passed 41 points. And he will... Now, Alan Smith's supposed to argue that case. But what can he say when this has happened tonight? Now, Southgate stays. Or does he? David Ellery, yes.
Well, he's given a decision, a free kick for Manchester United. Well, I think Gareth Southgate's a lucky boy. Certainly the tackle he put in Roy Keane. I've seen people book control that difficult ball. Inside Shaw. Drills it near post. You would expect the goalkeeper to save that.
Well, it's a set piece. It's Ince. It's Hughes. And maybe the whistle had already gone.
Yeah. Looks like he's given it against Paul Ince.
Mark Hughes making tracks into the centre. Giggs arriving as well. And Butt. Deep cross from Sharp, looking for Hughes. Wonderful piece of retrieving from Mark Hughes. Butt. Ince! Straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, I've no doubt the game's going to fly from end to end now. Palace have committed 3 up top. John Salako isn't interested in doing any defending at all. I think that's the right decision if you're chasing a game. I'm just a little bit sad that that incident took place, Mark. The game didn't deserve that.
In particular, it's over from Hughes. Hughes. Southgate. 3 ahead of him in the yellow shirts. Well, Armstrong was trying to make the angle there, but Manchester United expected Southgate to look to the right-hand side. Neville. Hughes comes across to try and help him. There's no need for Manchester United to flood forward in support. Measured look to the build-up, which continues. Much resistance, Owen. Owen, brilliant stop by Wilmot. The possession suddenly came to purpose for Alec Ferguson's team. Marauding best over the last couple of weeks, possibly with the forthcoming court case on his mind. But somehow, as the temperature rose here, it suited him, and he's going stronger than most.
He's had a good second half, Collins. Whether it's the, I don't know, the man going off or a bit more space, but he's got himself involved. He's looked more like his old self in this second half.
Manchester United against Everton on May the 20th, a rerun of 1985 in 1995. The holders go back to Wembley, thanks to first half goals here. Headers from set pieces from Steve Bruce on his return to the side after suspension, and Gary Pallister, but for whom Manchester United would have been out on Sunday. Crystal Palace put up a splendid show in that match, but that was their chance, twice in front, but they couldn't take it. The downside tonight will be the 2 red cards, one for Alec Ferguson to digest in the shape of Roy Keane, and for the manager, particularly galling that he tried to substitute Keane before that and couldn't get him off. And then David Ellery sent him off along with Darren Patterson of Crystal Palace in an incident that involved Gareth Southgate as well.